Dr. Sarah Chen never expected to be humanity's last hope. The quantum mechanics researcher had spent her career studying wave-particle duality in her lab at the Lunar Research Station Armstrong, far from Earth's politics and conflicts. But as she stared at the readings on her holographic display, her hands trembled with the weight of her discovery. The Meridian Federation's ships hung in high orbit around Earth like a swarm of metallic wasps, their crystal matrix hulls refracting sunlight in impossible patterns. They had arrived 3 days ago, bypassing humanity's early warning systems with technology centuries ahead of Earth's best defenses. Their message was simple: surrender or be eliminated. Humanity's rapid technological advancement had been deemed a threat to galactic stability. Sarah's colleague, Dr. Marcus Wong, rushed into the lab, his usually pristine lab coat stained with coffee. They've started bombarding the Pacific Defense Line. Singapore is gone. His voice cracked. Just gone. But Sarah barely heard him. She was transfixed by the data streaming across her screen. Marcus, look at this. The quantum signature of their shields. It's not random. She pulled up a visualization of the alien ship's defensive fields. To most observers, they appeared impenetrable, a perfect fusion of energy and matter. But Sarah had spent her life studying the quantum realm, where impossibilities became probable and chaos held hidden patterns. Their shield technology is based on perfect quantum synchronization, she explained, highlighting specific wave patterns. It's elegant, advanced, and fundamentally flawed. Military Commander Elena Rodriguez strode into the lab, her uniform bearing the dust of recent combat. Dr. Chen, we're evacuating the station. Earth's orbital defenses have failed. She paused, noting the intensity in Sarah's eyes. Unless you have something. Sarah's fingers flew across the holographic interface. Commander, the Meridians achieved their technological superiority through perfection. Their quantum shields operate on principles of absolute harmony. Every particle in perfect sync. A smile crept across her face. But they never considered that imperfection could be a strength. She pulled up Earth's magnetic field diagram. Our planet's magnetic field is chaotic, constantly shifting. We've spent centuries learning to work with this chaos, building our technology around it. The Meridians, they don't know how to handle disorder. Commander Rodriguez's eyes narrowed. What are you suggesting? We can use Earth's magnetic field as a weapon. Not by fighting against its chaos, but by amplifying it. Their shields are like a perfect crystal, beautiful, but shatter one point, and the whole structure fails. Marcus caught on. The lunar arrays, we could reconfigure them to generate quantum discord patterns, using the magnetic field as a carrier wave. Precisely, Sarah nodded. We don't need to match their technology. We just need to introduce enough chaos into their perfect systems to make them fail. Commander Rodriguez studied the data, years of military experience weighing the possibilities. How long? 24 hours to reconfigure the arrays. But Commander, Sarah hesitated. We'll need to evacuate everyone else. When we trigger this, the electromagnetic pulse will fry every piece of technology on the station. Rodriguez was already on her comm unit. General Command, this is Luna Base. Cancel evacuation. I repeat, cancel evacuation. We have a counterstrike option. She looked at Sarah. Doctor, you just volunteered for a suicide mission. As the commander coordinated with Earth's remaining military forces, Sarah returned to her calculations. Outside the reinforced windows of the lunar base, Earth burned. Meridian ships methodically targeted military installations, their quantum weapons reducing centuries of human achievement to ash. But they had made a crucial mistake. In their drive for technological perfection, they had forgotten that life itself emerged from chaos. Evolution favored not the strongest or most advanced, but the most adaptable. And humanity, with its messy, imperfect, chaotic history, had become masters of adaptation. Sarah Chen, the quantum physicist who had spent her life pursuing perfect order, now prepared to weaponize chaos itself. As she worked through the night, She smiled grimly at the irony. The Meridians had come to prevent humanity from becoming a threat to galactic civilization. Instead, they would learn why evolution had made humans the ultimate survivors. The real war was about to begin. The abandoned subway tunnels beneath New Delhi had become an unlikely war room. 6 months after the initial Meridian attack, the remains of humanity's scientific community gathered in this underground labyrinth, surrounded by a bizarre fusion of terrestrial and alien technology. The air hummed with the sound of jury-rigged power systems, and the walls glowed with the soft blue light of salvaged Meridian power cells. Colonel Amit Patel studied the holographic map floating above the central table, its network of red lines showing Meridian patrol patterns across Earth's surface. "They're expanding their ground presence," he observed, his voice tight with concern. "They know we're hiding something." Dr. Sarah Chen looked up from her workstation, where stripped-down Meridian shield generators lay scattered across the bench. After the successful disruption of the Meridian fleet at Luna Base, she had become the Resistance's leading expert on alien tech. The victory had cost them the moon base, but the knowledge gained was invaluable. "Let them search," she said, adjusting her makeshift spectral analyzer. "They're still looking in the wrong direction. Their sensors can't penetrate Earth's natural interference, and they're too proud to consider that we're using their own technology against them." The Resistance had discovered that Earth's geology wasn't just hiding them, it was helping them. The planet's complex magnetic fields and mineral compositions created natural blind spots in Meridian scanning technology. These same properties that had initially masked humanity's technological development now sheltered their counterattack preparations. Maya Patel, the colonel's daughter and a former quantum computing prodigy, worked beside Sarah. At 16, she had already proven invaluable in decoding Meridian systems. "The latest simulation results are ready," she announced, bringing up a new hologram. "We've successfully merged their quantum matrices with our chaos pattern generators. The power output is beyond anything we theorized." The display showed a cascade of energy patterns, beautiful and terrifying in their complexity. They had learned that Meridian technology wasn't just advanced, it was fundamentally different. Where human technology embraced redundancy and adaptability, Meridian systems sought perfect efficiency. This made them incredibly powerful, but also surprisingly vulnerable to unexpected variables. "We've identified 27 major Meridian command nodes worldwide," Colonel Patel reported, highlighting points on the map. "Each one coordinates thousands of their automated systems. If we can trigger a cascading failure in their network, we'll need more than just disruption this time." Sarah interrupted, pulling up her latest research. "I've been studying the debris from their damaged ships. Their entire civilization is built on quantum synchronization. Ships, weapons, even their communication systems. They achieved faster than light travel, not through brute force, but by perfectly harmonizing with space-time itself." Maya's eyes widened as she followed the implications. "So if we introduce enough quantum discord, we don't just disable their technology," Sarah confirmed. "We cut them off from their entire network. Every ship, every weapon, every communication system, isolated and vulnerable." The colonel frowned. "They'll have failsafes." "Of course," Sarah agreed. "But that's where humanity's greatest weakness becomes our strength. We've spent our entire history dealing with system failures, working around problems, finding unconventional solutions. The Meridians, they haven't faced a real technological challenge in thousands of years." A junior technician burst into the room, his face flushed with excitement. "Sir, the Shanghai bunker just reported success with the hybrid power cells. They've managed to integrate Meridian quantum cores with our old fission reactors." This was the breakthrough they'd been waiting for. The Resistance had spent months gathering destroyed Meridian technology, studying it, and finding ways to merge it with human systems. It wasn't elegant. The Meridians would probably be horrified by the jury-rigged combinations, but it worked. "How soon can we begin mass production?" Colonel Patel asked. "That's the beauty of it." The technician grinned. We don't need to build new facilities. We can modify existing nuclear plants. The Meridians ignored them because they considered the technology too primitive to be a threat. Sarah stood, her expression determined. Colonel, I think it's time to move to the next phase. We've got the power sources, we've got the disruption technology, and most importantly, we've got something the Meridians can't understand: the ability to work with imperfection. Maya was already running new simulations. If we coordinate all resistance cells globally, we could be ready within a month. Colonel Patel studied the data, years of military experience weighing against the risks of acting too soon. But they couldn't wait much longer. Every day, the Meridians extended their control, building new structures, establishing permanent bases. They thought they were consolidating their victory. Instead, they were surrounding themselves with the instruments of their own defeat. Send the signal, he ordered. Tell all cells to begin final preparations. The Meridians came here expecting to find primitive savages playing with technology we barely understood. Instead, they're going to learn why humanity's greatest achievements have always come from our darkest moments. In the tunnels beneath Earth's conquered cities, humanity prepared for war, not with superior technology or overwhelming force, but with creativity, adaptability, and the desperate innovation that had defined their species since they first looked up at the stars and dreamed of reaching them. The timing had to be perfect. In underground bunkers across the globe, resistance fighters watched their chronometers count down. Salvaged Meridian power cores hummed in harmony with modified human generators, creating a sound that seemed to vibrate through the Earth itself. In New Delhi, Dr. Sarah Chen made final adjustments to the quantum discord generator, her hand steady despite the weight of the moment. All cells report ready, Colonel Patel announced, his voice echoing through the global quantum comm network they cobbled together from captured Meridian tech. Waiting for your signal, Doctor. Sarah looked at Maya, who gave a confident nod. The teenager had written the final algorithms that would synchronize their attack. On my mark, Sarah broadcast to all cells. 3, 2, 1. Initiate. Across the planet, human resistance fighters activated their hybrid generators. The effect was immediate and devastating. Earth's magnetic field, already a complex web of energy, erupted with carefully calculated chaos. Quantum discord patterns rippled through the atmosphere, targeting the precise frequencies used by Meridian technology. Above New York, a Meridian patrol ship suddenly lost power, its perfect quantum harmonics disrupted by the wave of discord. The vessel's crystal matrix hull darkened as emergency systems tried and failed to compensate. Similar scenes played out worldwide as Meridian ships, weapons, and communication systems encountered something they had never been designed to handle: orchestrated chaos. In the Meridian command base near former Beijing, High Commander Vex watched in horror as his holographic displays flickered and died. "Impossible," he whispered, his large eyes widening in disbelief. "Their technology is too primitive for this." But humanity was just getting started. The second phase of Operation Thunderstrike began as resistance fighters emerged from hidden bunkers, armed with hybrid weapons that combined Meridian power sources with human ingenuity. Where Meridian weapons were elegant and precise, these jury-rigged abominations spat bolts of chaotic energy that overwhelmed alien shields through sheer unpredictability. "All teams, advance," Colonel Patel ordered, leading a squad towards the nearest Meridian installation. The alien structure, usually protected by seemingly impenetrable quantum shields, now stood vulnerable. Its perfect geometric lines seemed to shiver in the disrupted atmospheric energy. Sarah monitored the global operation from the command center, Maya at her side. "The discord pattern is holding," Maya reported, fingers dancing across holographic controls. "Their attempts to re-establish quantum synchronization are failing. They can't adapt fast enough to the changing frequencies." Reports flooded in from around the world. London, Meridian ground forces in retreat, their advanced armor systems offline. Rio de Janeiro, resistance fighters securing a major alien communication hub. Sydney, Human forces breaching a Meridian research facility, capturing intact quantum cores. But the aliens weren't defeated yet. In some locations, they managed to establish local quantum fields, creating islands of stability where their technology still functioned. These became desperate battlegrounds as human forces fought to maintain their advantage. They're trying to establish a new quantum frequency baseline, Maya warned, pointing to shifting patterns in the data. If they succeed, they could restore their network. Sarah had anticipated this. Initiate Protocol Omega, she ordered. Across the planet, secondary discord generators activated, introducing new layers of chaos into the quantum field. It was like trying to build a house of cards in a tornado. The more the Meridians tried to restore order, the more that order slipped away. In orbit, the massive Meridian flagship began to move, its engines straining against the disruption. They're attempting to retreat, Colonel Patil observed, watching tactical displays. Should we try to stop them? Sarah shook her head. Let them go. We want survivors to report back. She smiled grimly. Let the galaxy know what happens when you underestimate humanity. The battle raged for hours as human forces systematically took control of Meridian installations. The aliens fought bravely, but they were lost without their technological advantage. Their training hadn't prepared them for combat without perfect tactical data, without synchronized weapons, without the quantum network that connected their entire civilization. As the sun set over New Delhi, Sarah stood with Colonel Patil and Maya, watching Meridian ships flee Earth's atmosphere. They moved erratically, their usual grace replaced by desperate acceleration. The sight filled her with both pride and sadness. This victory would change everything, not just for Earth, but for the galaxy. They'll be back, Colonel Patel said quietly, and they'll try to adapt their technology. Let them try, Maya replied with the confidence of youth. We'll just keep changing the rules. It's what humans do best. Sarah nodded, her mind already working on improvements to their hybrid systems. Humanity had learned more about quantum physics in 6 months of desperate innovation than they had in decades of peaceful research. They had proven that imperfection could be a strength, that adaptation was more powerful than perfection. The Meridian invasion had intended to prevent humanity from becoming a threat to galactic civilization. Instead, they had forced humanity to evolve faster than anyone thought possible. As the last alien ships disappeared into the darkening sky, Sarah knew that the galaxy would never be the same. The age of perfect order was over. The era of controlled chaos was about to begin. The grand chamber of the Galactic Council hung suspended in space, a massive crystalline structure that reflected the light of 1,000 stars. Inside, representatives from the most advanced civilizations in known space gathered for an emergency session. The recent events on Earth had sent shockwaves through the galactic community. High Commander Vex stood before the council, his usually immaculate appearance showing signs of strain. The defeat had taken its toll. The humans, he began, his voice carrying across the chamber, are not what we thought they were. They didn't just resist our pacification effort. They turned our own technology against us. Murmurs rippled through the assembled delegates. Counselor Zara of the Arcturus Collective leaned forward, her bioluminescent patterns shifting with concern. Explain how a pre-FTL species managed to defeat the most advanced fleet in the Meridian Federation. Vex activated a holographic display, showing the chaos of Earth's counterattack. They found a fundamental flaw in our quantum synchronization technology, something we never considered because it went against everything we know about efficient systems. They weaponized chaos itself. The display showed hybrid human Meridian weapons in action, their erratic energy patterns overwhelming sophisticated alien defenses. Several counselors visibly recoiled at the sight of such technological blasphemy. This is unprecedented, declared Representative Katol of the Silicon Mines, his crystalline form pulsing with agitation. They combined incompatible technologies, ignored fundamental engineering principles, violated basic quantum harmonics. And it worked. Not just worked. Vex corrected grimly. They've already begun improving upon it. Our long-range sensors detect increasing quantum disruption around Earth. They're building something new, something that doesn't follow any known technological progression path. The chamber erupted in worried discussion. For millennia, the galactic community had developed along predictable lines, each advancement building logically on the last. The humans had just proved that there were other paths to power. Elder Lazara, one of the oldest members of the council, raised her hand for silence. Perhaps, she said, her ancient voice carrying centuries of wisdom, we should consider that our definition of advancement was too narrow. We sought perfection in our systems, but these humans, they embrace imperfection as a strength. A dangerous strength, countered Ambassador Nexus of the Quantum Confluence. Their chaos-based technology could destabilize everything we've built. Our entire civilization relies on quantum synchronization. If this knowledge spreads, it's already spreading, Vex interrupted, bringing up new data. We've detected similar quantum disruption patterns in 3 other systems. Other species are attempting to replicate human methods. The Meridian Federation has lost control of 2 colonial outposts to rebellions using copied human technology. Councillor Zara's patterns flashed with alarm. Then we must act decisively. Quarantine the Earth system. Prevent this contamination from spreading further. We tried that, Vex reminded her sharply. It didn't work. And now they're stronger, more prepared. Our latest intelligence suggests they've begun establishing bases throughout their solar system, using hybrid technology that our sensors can barely detect. Elder Lazara studied the data with growing interest. Look at how quickly they adapt, how readily they abandon failed approaches for new ones. While we spent millennia perfecting our existing systems, they developed the ability to continuously evolve. Are you suggesting we simply allow this chaos to spread? Ambassador Nexus demanded. The foundations of galactic society are changing, Lazara finished, as they have changed many times before. We forgot that the universe itself is not perfect. It is chaotic, dynamic, ever-changing. Perhaps these humans are not a threat to civilization, but a reminder of what we have forgotten. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just defeated a superior force. They had challenged the very foundations of galactic technological development. There's more, Vex added reluctantly. We've intercepted communications suggesting they plan to send representatives to this council, not as supplicants, but as equals. They're calling it Project Bridge, an initiative to share their hybrid technology with any species that wishes to learn. Preposterous. Ambassador Nexus flared. They barely understand quantum mechanics. They understand enough to defeat our best defenses, Councillor Zora pointed out. Perhaps it's time we acknowledge that understanding something and seeing its flaws are not mutually exclusive. Elder Lazara rose, her ancient form commanding attention. I move that we open diplomatic channels with Earth immediately, not to contain them, but to learn from them. They offer something our civilization has lacked for too long, a fresh perspective. The motion passed, though not unanimously. As the council session ended, Vex lingered, staring at the holographic image of Earth. The humans had done more than win a war. They had initiated a transformation that would reshape galactic society. In the space around Earth, human ships were already preparing for their first diplomatic mission to the Council. They were ugly by Meridian standards, combining sleek alien technology with robust human engineering in ways that defied conventional design. But they represented something the galaxy had forgotten. That true advancement comes not from perfecting the old, but from daring to try something new. The age of quantum harmony was ending. The era of dynamic adaptation was about to begin. And humanity, the species that had learned to thrive in chaos, was leading the way. 1 year after humanity's victory, the Earth delegation approached the Galactic Council station in a ship that embodied their unique approach to technology. The Unity was neither purely human nor Meridian in design, but something entirely new. Its hull combined crystalline quantum matrices with traditional metal alloys, creating patterns that shifted and adapted to space-time fluctuations rather than trying to overcome them. Dr. Sarah Chen stood on the bridge beside Maya Patel, now Earth's youngest quantum physicist. Through the view screen, the Council station gleamed like a perfect jewel against the backdrop of space. Colonel Patel, now General, commanded the mission from Earth, but had insisted his daughter represent humanity's next generation. "They're scanning us," Maya reported, monitoring their hybrid sensors. "Their quantum harmonics are so rigid. Was our technology ever that inflexible?" Sarah smiled, remembering how far they'd come. "We never had the chance to be." Sometimes being primitive has its advantages. The Unity's communication system activated, displaying the Council's diplomatic AI. "Earth vessel, you are cleared for approach. Please maintain your unusual quantum signature at its current level." As they docked, Sarah reflected on the changes of the past year. Humanity hadn't just survived. They had sparked a revolution in galactic technology. Their hybrid systems, combining quantum precision with adaptive chaos, had proven more resilient and versatile than pure Meridian technology. Already, dozens of species had begun experimenting with their own versions of human innovation. The Council chamber was packed with representatives from across the galaxy, all eager to witness this historic moment. Sarah and Maya walked forward, their footsteps echoing in the sudden silence. They carried no weapons. Their very presence was disruptive enough to the quantum-harmonized space. Elder Lazarus spoke first, her ancient eyes studying them with fascination. "Welcome, children of Earth. You stand before us not as supplicants, but as teachers. Show us what you have brought." Maya stepped forward, activating a holographic display. "We call this the adaptive quantum interface," she began. "Unlike traditional quantum systems, it doesn't try to achieve perfect harmony. Instead, it learns, evolves, and grows stronger from each perturbation." The display showed their new technology in action. Ships morphing to absorb energy attacks, communication networks that became stronger when disrupted, power systems that drew strength from quantum interference. It was beautiful in its controlled chaos, like a jazz improvisation compared to the Council's classical symphony. "Impossible," whispered Ambassador Nexus. "The quantum realm demands order, precision." "The quantum realm," Sarah interrupted gently, "demands nothing. We imposed our desire for order upon it. Nature itself is a dance between chaos and order, between entropy and organization. We simply learned to join that dance instead of fighting it." She gestured to their ship outside. "The Unity isn't just a vessel. It's a promise that there's another way forward, not through perfect harmonization, but through adaptation, through embracing change rather than resisting it." Elder Lasara's expression showed growing understanding. "You offer us not just technology, but a new way of thinking." "We offer partnership," Maya said. "Earth is establishing what we call the innovation exchange. Any species willing to think differently, to challenge their assumptions about technology and progress, is welcome to join." The chamber erupted in discussion. Some representatives recoiled from the idea of abandoning millennia of technological tradition. Others leaned forward, eager to explore new possibilities. The galaxy was dividing, not between order and chaos, but between stagnation and growth. Ambassador Nexus raised his crystalline form. "And if we refuse, if we choose to maintain our pure quantum technology, then you'll be left behind," Sarah stated simply. "We've detected quantum fluctuations increasing throughout the galaxy. The universe itself is becoming more chaotic. Our technology adapts to these changes. Does yours?" The truth of her words hung in the air. Already, some species reported their quantum systems becoming less stable, requiring more energy to maintain perfect synchronization. The galaxy was changing, and humanity had shown a way to change with it. Elder Lazara rose, her decision made. "The Council recognizes Earth not just as a member of galactic society, but as a harbinger of necessary change. The age of rigid perfection is ending. We must all learn to adapt, or we will surely fade. As celebrations erupted across Earth at the news of their acceptance, Sarah stood with Maya at a viewport, watching ships of various species approaching the Unity, drawn by the promise of something new. "They called us primitive," Maya mused. "They never understood that evolution favors those who can adapt." Sarah nodded, seeing not just humanity's victory, but the beginning of a new era for all species. "We are all evolution's children," she said. "Some of us just forgot how to grow." In the space around them, the first students of Earth's new approach were already arriving. The galaxy was about to remember what it meant to evolve, to change, to embrace the beautiful chaos of existence itself. And humanity, the species that had never stopped learning, would lead the way. The story of their resistance had become legend, but the true revolution was just beginning. In learning to fight back against extinction, humanity had discovered something far more valuable, a way to help all species move forward together into an uncertain but exciting future. They had reminded the galaxy that true strength lies not in achieving perfection, but in never stopping the journey toward it.